The Boston Tea Party was an important event that took place in 1773 in Boston, Massachusetts. It was one of the key moments leading up to the American Revolution, a time when American colonists fought for their freedom from British rule. At that time, the American colonies were under the control of Britain. The British government had passed several laws that made life hard for the colonists, especially laws that forced them to pay taxes on everyday items like tea, paper, and glass. The colonists were angry because they had no say in the British Parliament, the group that made these laws. They believed it was unfair to pay taxes when they had no representation in the government, a situation they summed up with the slogan, "No taxation without representation." One of the most hated taxes was the tax on tea. The British government had given a special company, the East India Company, the right to sell tea in the American colonies. This company didn't have to pay any taxes on its tea, which made it cheaper than the tea sold by local merchants. The colonists felt this was a sneaky way to get them to accept British taxes. In December 1773, 3 ships loaded with tea from the East India Company arrived in Boston Harbor. The colonists, especially a group called the Sons of Liberty, were furious. They didn't want the tea to be unloaded because they knew it would mean accepting the British tax on tea. For weeks, they tried to get the ships to leave without unloading, but the British authorities refused. On the night of December 16, 1773, a group of around 60 colonists, some disguised as Native Americans, gathered in Boston. They headed to the harbor and boarded the tea ships. The colonists worked quickly and quietly. They took the crates of tea and dumped them into the water. By the end of the night, they had thrown 342 chests of tea into Boston Harbor. The value of the tea was huge. It would be worth millions of dollars today. The Boston Tea Party was a bold act of protest. The British government was furious and responded by passing even harsher laws, which became known as the Intolerable Acts. These laws were meant to punish the colonists, but instead they made them even more determined to fight for their independence. The Boston Tea Party showed the British that the colonists were serious about standing up for their rights. It also helped unite the colonies, bringing them closer to the start of the American Revolution. This event remains a symbol of the fight for freedom and justice in American history.